Hello everybody. Today we are going to continue Unit 14. Our lesson today about grammar, direct and indirect speech. We will learn grammar today. What is the difference between direct speech and indirect speech? By the way, you have to know that indirect speech the same like reported speech. Sometimes we say indirect speech, sometimes we say reported speech. So they are the same. Direct speech, to say what someone has said using exactly the words they used. But indirect speech or reported speech, to report or re-say what was said without using exactly the same words. You have to make change, and we will learn how we change direct speech into indirect speech. Example: Judy said to me, "My parents are very well." Judy told me that her parents were very well. To change from direct speech into reported or indirect speech, follow these steps. First, cross out the speech marks, as you see here. 2. Change said to into told. Use that to join the two parts of the sentence. 4. Change the pronouns according to the meaning. Direct speech into indirect speech pronouns. Direct speech, I, which I, to he, she. We, they. You, he, she, or they. My, his, her. Our, their. Your, his, her, their. Me, him, her. Us, them. You, him. Mine, his. Ours, theirs. Yours, his. Five, change the present tense into the past as follows. We change past present simple into past simple. For example, I am a nurse, she said. She said that she was a nurse. Present continuous, I am not going. We change into past continuous, he said that he wasn't going. Past simple, Tony did it, she said. We change into past perfect. She said that Tony had done it. Present perfect, I haven't read it, she said. Past perfect, she said that she did read it. Well, I will get it, she said. We change well into would. She said that she would get it. Can, we change can into could. For example, I can speak French, he said. He said that he could speak French. Must, we change must into had to. I must go, he said. He said that he had to go. Change the adverbs of time and place as follows. Direct speech. This into that. These, those. Here, there. Now, then. Today, that day. Tonight, that night. Must, had to. Reported questions. What we talked before is about statement. And now the questions. Requests, commands. Request. We use ask to report a request. Ask plus object plus to infinitive. Example. Please turn on your computers. He asked us to turn on our computers. Command or orders. Use tell to report commands. Tell plus object plus to infinitive. Number 1. Turn on your computers. He told us to turn on our computers. Don't turn it on. He told us not to turn it on. Reported questions, WH question, direct question. What are you doing? Reported, we changed this into reported question. She asked me what I was doing. Direct question, for example, have you ever been to Mexico? Reported questions. She asked me if I had ever been to Mexico. Reported requests. Direct speech, close the window, please. Or could you close the window, please? How we change this? Reported speech. We use first, she asked me to close the window. In negative form, to report a negative request, use not. For example, direct speech, please don't be late. Reported speech, she asked, we use asked, the same like the last sentence. She asked us not to be late. Reported commands. Direct command, go to bed, don't worry, be on time. How we change these sentences? Reported command, he told the child to go to bed. He told her not to worry. He told me to be on time. Now we are going to watch video about reported speech, and then you have to download your homework from our school website www.ishurghada.com. Later we will discuss this together by internet. See you.
I am at the void deck of Block 3, Mango Street, with brothers Michael and Jonathan Lee, who have just completed collecting old items from some of their neighbors. Who decided to embark on this activity, and why?
The idea came about when we saw stacks of old newspapers beside the...
Hello.
Cut. Sarah, you can't use your phone when we are recording.
A written report? Yes, Miss Berry. We will complete the report by tomorrow morning.
Huh?
Keep rolling. I will handle this. The interviewee is over there.
Action.
Whose idea is it to collect old newspapers and other items from your neighbors?
It is Michael's idea to collect the old items from our neighbors. The recycling bin is 2 blocks away from where we live.
Listen carefully to the interview, and compare what is said with what Sarah types on her laptop.
My neighbors are elderly, so they cannot carry these heavy items to the bin themselves.
How often do you help your neighbors?
I don't need to go to school on Saturdays, so Michael and I will knock on our neighbors' doors every Saturday. We distribute flyers to inform our neighbors about our collection period.
How does Michael feel about this experience? Michael?
I feel tired, but happy that I can help others.
Do you have any last words for our viewers?
I would like to encourage young people to play a part in making the neighborhood a better place to live in.
Jonathan and Michael are heroes for the elderly residents of Mango Street. The Awesome Foursome, signing off for Stellar Media Club.
You have watched the Awesome Foursome conduct an interview with Jonathan and Michael. You have also seen how Sarah had decided to type her report as she witnessed the interview. Sarah would like to inform others about what the brothers have said. She has to use the reported speech when she is speaking to others. But, if she is writing or typing it down, she can use either the reported speech or the direct speech. Let's look at an example. Jonathan said,
It is Michael's idea to collect the old items from our neighbors.
Sarah would have told someone else, or written,
Jonathan said that it was Michael's idea to collect the old items from their neighbors.
When we quote the exact words someone says, we use direct speech. Otherwise, we can use reported speech to tell others about something someone else said. Do you notice any difference between the direct speech and the reported speech? Pause the video and compare the differences. Let's check whether you noticed these features. There are quotation marks in direct speech, but not reported speech. That is added between the verb said and the message of the speaker in reported speech. The verb is in direct speech is changed to was in reported speech. The determiner our in the message of the direct speech is changed to there in reported speech. Were you able to identify all the changes that happened when the direct speech was rewritten to reported speech in this example? Now, ask yourself, why is there a change in tenses? Why is there a change in determiners? Pause the video to give yourself some time to think about this. Some time would have passed between when the original message was said and when the message was delivered to another person who was not in the earlier conversation. This would explain why there is usually a need to change the tenses. As for the change in determiners, it has to do with who the speaker is. Sarah has to refer to the brothers' neighbors as their neighbors, not our neighbors. You have watched how Sarah rewrote what the brothers said in reported speech. In her example, Sarah changed the tenses and determiners. However, in other instances, she might need to change other features.
You may want to review the interview from the start and compare the direct and reported speech. Writing a report is not just about the reported speech, but that will be a lesson for another day.
And, cut.
When we report someone's words, we can do it in two ways: direct speech and reported or indirect speech. An example of direct speech is, Diane said, I am happy today. To write the same sentence in reported speech, we would say, Diane said that she was happy that day. Notice that there is a difference in direct and reported speech. When we change direct speech to reported speech, we must often change the tense. For example, she said, I am tired. This is direct speech. She said that she was tired. This is reported speech. If we use the present tense in direct speech, we use the past tense in reported speech. Another example, he said, I have seen snow. This is direct speech. In reported speech, we say, he said that he had seen snow. Notice the present perfect changes to the past perfect. The children said, We are listening. This is direct speech. The children said that they were listening. This is reported speech. Notice the present continuous changes to the past continuous. Let's look at a real example. The son says to his father, "I fell down the stairs." The father reports to his wife. He said that he had fallen down the stairs. The past tense in direct speech changes to the past perfect or stays in the simple past in reported speech. Also notice how the pronoun changes. Another example, Katie tells her friend, "I have a secret. I really like Thomas." Her friend then tells Thomas, "Hi Thomas, Katie told me that she liked you." Here, the present tense verb like changes to the past tense liked. Here's another. The teacher says, "Don't chew gum in school." The boy tells his dad, "My teacher told me not to chew gum in school." Here, the word don't changes to not to. When changing direct speech to reported speech, we often need to change the time. For example, tomorrow becomes the next day. Next week becomes the following week. Yesterday becomes the day before or the previous day. Last week becomes the week before or the previous week. For example, the boy says to the girl, "I will call you tomorrow." The girl tells her friend, "He said that he would call me the next day, but he didn't call." Notice will changes to would and tomorrow changes to the next day. How can we ask questions in reported speech? First, let's talk about yes or no questions. For example, can you help me carry my groceries? To change this to reported speech, we must use the word if. He asked if I could help him. Notice the word can changes to could. Okay, now let's try something that's not a yes or no question. For example, what is your name? In reported speech, we would say, she asked what my name was. We don't need to switch the subject and the verb, and we don't need the word if. And one last piece of information. It isn't always necessary to change the tense if something is still true now. For example, direct speech. Diane said, "I am a teacher." Reported speech. Diane said that she is a teacher. We don't need to change the tense because this is still true now.